What's up guys, after my last video, I'm back. Well, technically, it's after 2 years I'm missing. Yeah, I heard ya. Many has been messaging me or asking me when they meet me, yo Nick, when is your next video? I mean, I don't know, I was busy. But today, I'm gonna take that opportunity to make this video because there's some rumors and false messages wandering around the internet. Today I'm going to show you a very simple method to use a TDS pen. This here is one of the design of the TDS pen. So this is just one of the design, right? So basically how it indicates it's with the rod beneath it, right? You can see that? So every TDS pen, it comes with a very similar design. It's just the outlook that is different and maybe the functions that are available. So most of the time there is a on-off button and a temperature check. So this is 2-in-1, right? So there's a on-off button and then there is the hold button and the temp button. The one I'm having here is a TDS pen and a EC pen, okay? So how do you shift between it? It's by pressing the button at the middle, alright? But today we're gonna talk about TDS in a ppm reading. So what is TDS, guys? TDS is total dissolved solution and it's measured by a pen, right? Many still confuse how to use a TDS and what is a TDS. I'm pretty sure most of you guys out there, especially the ones that are watching this video, you don't fully know what is TDS and you're trying to learn. So this is the right channel, this is the right video to learn it. And I'm simplifying the knowledge of TDS pen on how to use it and how to read it in the easiest way. TDS is just a rough figure, right? It total up all the elements. It couldn't tell you what it's in the water parameter, but it just gives you a rough figure of the total up. So take it this way, okay? I'll make it simple. TDS is automotive, okay? It's a category, okay? So what is in the category? Car brands, okay? Honda, Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, Audi, okay? TDS pen, it stands for total dissolved solution, right? So it's just giving a rough figure. By dipping this pen in your water parameter, you couldn't tell if that's Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, Audi, Nissan, whatever brands, okay? By dipping this pen, you couldn't tell what specifically is in your tank, okay? It's just a rough figure. Continue watching this video and you know what I'm talking about. So there's a couple of questions that I've always been receiving. Hey Nick, my TDS of my tank is constantly raising and it's very fast. Or my streams are dying, my fishes are dying, my plants aren't doing well. So what are the TDS range that is most suitable for each, right? So there's no specific TDS range for everything, but you're gonna get the best one out of the chance that you could, alright? I'm not sure whether will you get this information, but let's make things easy. I would like to share my knowledge with you and I'm not hiding anything. And I hope you could trust me because it's kind of horrible if you mix advices from, you know, from shop A, B, C, D, and then some random hobbyists. I mean, there's no right or wrong, but there might be a chance that you're receiving a false info. And when you mix those false info, your tank's gonna crash. You know, you won't know what did you did or what did you add that causes this and that and etc. There's a lot of reasons. In an aquarium, it's very hard to tell unless you have a very specific test kit, which you need to spend on it, you know. And you're gonna take a lot of time to experiment it. So let's begin with a planted tank. From the locals, from where I am, Malaysia, our TDS from the tap, it's about 44 to 50 something. You know, let's give it a range to 40 to 50 plus, okay? 40 to 60, alright? So what is contained in our water is 1 GH and 1 KH. So basically that is what you get out from the tap. You're gonna test from wherever you are. So example, just take a TDS pen, turn on the tap, fill it up, dip your TDS pen and find out what's the TDS. So for example, your TDS origin from the tap water is 80. Do a quick test. I advise everyone that is willing to learn, go and get a test kit, test kit GH and KH. Go and test your tap water. For example, your tap water is origin 80 TDS. Find out what's inside. For example, you have 2 GH in your TDS of 80, and you have 1 KH from the same tap water, the TDS 80 tap water. From there, you know your TDS of 80, it has 2 GH and 1 KH. So from where I am, with the range with 40 to 60, I have 1 KH and 1 GH. So basically that is the baseline there, right? So what is the recommended TDS for a planted tank? So based on our experience, based on where I am, our waters are best with 80 to 90 for planted tank. Having a too low of the TDS, that means a very low levels of nutrients, elements that are contained in that water. For a planted tank, you don't intentionally increase the TDS, but it increases gradually over time. And how? You're wondering how, right? Whenever you add fertilizer, those elements will be added gradually into the tank. The more you add, the higher it goes. So basically, the more foods you add, and also by the times you add, it gradually increases. You want to keep that range of the 80 to 90 for a planted tank. You definitely see the differences, the plant's reaction, the growth rate, and even the colors. With the additional benefits of the 2 GH, even your fish colors will be much more vibrant. I'm not quite sure if you ever noticed this, but it also helps with the fish coloration. Well, this is proven by the Taiwan fish keepers from the experienced guppy breeders. So back to the topic. So planted tank, what I recommended is 80 to 90 TDS, but go ahead and try it, alright? So when do you want to do a water change? I guess when your TDS range has exceeded 160, I think that's too much. But having the higher readings of the TDS also indicates a very high levels of nitrates, which is the NO4. Although nitrate is beneficial for plants, but having too much, you might risk yourself by having algae. Well, you wouldn't want algae in the tank, right? Don't be lazy, do your water change. Next, I also received questions from shrimp keepers. My friend's tank, he don't remineralize his tank, but his TDS is in range. Why is his shrimps okay but mine aren't? My TDS is 90, his is 120, but why is his doing well and mine aren't? Or another way around, my friend's tank is blah blah blah, TDS something, I don't know, and he doesn't do anything, he just dump the shrimp in and the shrimp survive and even breeds. There's a lot of ways to indicate whether the shrimp is thriving or just surviving. So you're gonna know whether the shrimps are thriving or just barely surviving. Even if it is breeding, how fast does it breed? Is the color nice or it's faded? So there's a lot of ways to judge that. There's a lot of points of view to judge whether that shrimps are thriving or just barely surviving, alright? So everyone's tank is different. So why is his tank shrimps are doing well or surviving? Well, the answer to that is because that specific tank has a very low percentage of water change. So why is low water change? Sorry, not low water change. It's small water changes. He always does small water changes. Let me give you a better visualization. So this is your tank. When you do little water changes, imagine all your debris, most of the nutrients, the elements are all beneath the tank. So let me show you another example. The difference is doing from 10, 30, 50, and even 80%. Right?
Oh my god! Wow!
Right? This is a handy vacuum. So let me show you how. It's gonna be loud, so I hope you can hear me. I'll try to be loud. 10%. Good. Imagine by doing a little water changes, are you able to throw all those? Imagine those are the bad stuff, alright? Are you able to remove them during a water change? 10%, 30%, 50%, maybe 70%. So the more percentage of the water change you do, the more chances of you removing the bad stuff it's higher. Maybe this handy dandy vacuum is not that strong enough, but let's imagine this is the 70 to 80%, okay? Because it's too low. It's for reference, guys. So that is what happens when you do more water changes, more percentage of water changes, alright? By doing a sufficient levels of water changes, you're able to throw out those negative stuff. By doing this, you will achieve a very stable parameter. You wouldn't have, this is very crucial guys, this is very important for those especially with Tank TDS that's increasing insanely high a very short period of time. You could do a 50 to 30%, 30 to 50% water changes. Oh yay, TDS dropped. But 2 days later, it went back up. By doing this method I showed you earlier, this could control and provide you a very stable TDS range water parameter for whatever tank you have. Whether it's a planter tank, shrimp tank, fish tank. Planter tank, which I mentioned earlier, the recommended range is about 80 to 90. Caridina, the recommended range of TDS is from 70 to 90. And if you have galaxy shrimps, tiger shrimps like Danashi or whatsoever, they are suitable in 100 to 120 TDS range. And for Neocaridina, they prefer about 160 to 180. But it's because Neocaridina, they could adapt in a wide range of parameters. They could survive from 70 TDS and up to 200 over. About close to 300, they're still doing fine. But it's not really recommended to have the TDS range that high. Well, don't misunderstand this guys. Friends from US, the States, or wherever you are, be sure to test your water with this, because I'm providing advices from my local water source, alright? My TDS from 160 to 80 for my Neocaridina, I'm having about 6 to 7 GH, okay? 6 GH definitely at 160 TDS. And my KH is about 4 to 5, okay? So why am I so sure about this? It's because I did what you guys did. In the beginning of learning about all of this, I went to the RFS, okay, the local fish store, and I got those test kits back. So I got the GH, KH, pH, even the master kit. So basically, the basic ones that you gotta know is the cycling process, with which I did learn by purchasing the master kit. Well, put that aside, okay? We are focusing on the TDS right now. GH and KH. I'm not sure if anyone would share you this. Every 30 to 40 TDS increase that you remineralize your water, every 30 to 40 range of TDS increment equals to 1 GH. So basically, you do not need a specific GH test kit and that's the testing every time you remineralize. I'm saving you time guys. I'm saving you time, I'm saving your money to be able to spend on something else better. It's good that if you're watching until this, okay, I'm sharing this. I hope it really helps. So basically, up to 160, I have 6 GH. If your TDS range is about 70 to 80 or 90, you're most likely to have 2 GH in your water. When should I do a water change for a shrimp tank? For Caridina tank, for example, my TDS range is about 75 to, let's say, 90, okay? When my TDS is very stable in my tank, I could achieve a month, okay? And I only have a 6 increment. That was really my experiment, okay? My TDS range was stable. I've tested it. I didn't do anything differently. I fed them daily. There's only one thing that I did. I didn't do any water changes for a month. And my increment for that tank is 6 TDS. You can imagine how stable is my water parameter. For example, you have set your TDS about 80 TDS for your Caridina shrimps. So if the TDS increases over 130, 120 or 130, I recommend you to do a water check to lower it back down. For Neocaridina, the starting parameter that I advise is 160 to 180. And if the water parameter exceeds 250, 260, you're almost at the limit. I'll usually do a water change when I have about 240 TDS for a Neocaridina tank. So that is my tips for you guys on the shrimp skipping for the TDS side. I hope it helps. Well, I think that is all for the day, guys. That's my simple sharing of the TDS planet. If you have any more questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments below, guys. I'll reply you as soon as possible, I promise. And be sure, guys, to hit that like button and smash the share button and share it out with your friends and the fellow hobbyists. I'll try my best to make more videos in the near future. Be sure to support me as always. Like and subscribe, guys. And until then, see ya, guys.